Hey guys, so here is my extended update for Monday the 25th. So, let's see. Lots of stuff to talk about, lots of things changing, lots of things happening. The first biggest thing I think is this Saturday we go pick up my son from the airport. He is moving home. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I love my son dearly. He's a wonderful person. He doesn't always see that. But you can't force somebody else to get self-esteem. I know his dad not being around and his dad being who his dad is has played a lot into that. And yeah, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on his life, but unless he says talk about it, in which he hasn't done, so we're there. But I wouldn't trade my son for the world. As much as he can be a pain in my butt, I love him dearly. And I think it's all kids. I think all moms can say that there are days where they could tell their kids to just go take a break and they're okay with it. But it's been difficult. I mean, he's been a difficult child to raise because of his Asperger's. And if anyone has a child with Asperger's, you know that their idiosyncrasies, although mostly predictable, can also be completely unpredictable. And their reactions can seem inappropriate to other people, which puts you in an awkward position. It's just difficult. It's not easy. So he's moving home. But I mean, I'm hoping with bated breath that he comes back a person who wants to work, wants to get a job, wants to have an income, because honestly, we can't afford to support him financially. We support ourselves, and I'm not working right now. I'm working on losing weight. I just do YouTube. We are not monetized. We don't have sponsors. Right as of today, we have no Patreons, no Subscribe Star members, no nothing. So we have nothing helping us financially outside of the fact that my husband has a job. Which, like, literally, we're going to catch up on some bills and stuff. We get our income tax check. We are not financially plush. Yes, we have a nice house. We live in an area where our nice house isn't expensive. Our house isn't a mansion. It isn't, we got what we needed for what we needed. And that's about it. My husband picked it. I would have picked a different house, but that's okay. There's improvements that can be made. And when I say that the money, we will be making them, so I know exactly what they are and how to do them. So anyhow, that's that. But I mean, it's just, I'm a little bit nervous about the situation. Recently, last week, Taylor had food poisoning in China. So that was concerning because she's in a foreign country. I can't be there to make sure she's okay, make sure she does what she needs to do, make sure she's going to the doctor if she needs to go, etc., etc. But she did get better, so she is okay. So I was coming off of that when I went to Pensacon on Friday. And when we got there, normally I get really aggravated when people are rude and like push by me or push in front of me, or I just get super aggravated just because I have anxiety issues. I do have PTSD, so crowds are bad for me. Like, usually crowds, I just can't deal with them. But I've been working really hard for the last couple months to kind of reformat the way I look at situations. So, like, if I'm in a close crowd or somebody bumps me or somebody pushes past me because, they're entitled to get in front of me or whatever, I now look at it differently. I kind of reframed it in my head, excuse me, to where I'm like, well, I guess they think they're more special or whatever, and that's fine. Let them think it. Like, I'm not, now if a whole line of people try to push me, I'd be like, okay, no, stop. But I mean, like, there was some kids, so a guy and then two guys who looked to be like 18, 19 in front of us. And then out of the blue, some guy came by and was like, oh, excuse me. And the first time I said, excuse me, that's fine. But then there was some girl in a tight costume, and he went to go talk to her, and he literally just pushed right past me. And I was like, well, that was pretty rude. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to change his mind, so let him do what he's going to do, I can't change how other people are. I can't change their way of thinking. I can't change who they think they are. And if I let myself get all upset and worried about it, I mean, what is that going to do? Ultimately, it's going to do absolutely nothing for me. The only thing it's going to do is I'm going to get upset. I'm going to get stressed out. I'm going to have a panic attack. And that guy's going to go on with his day and have a great old day. It doesn't matter. I could yell at him. I could be a complete jerk or whatever. I'm going to look like the fool. He's still going to have a great day, and it's going to change nothing. Except for the fact that I'm now going to have a bad day. So I've stopped taking that stuff real personal. And there was one situation where somebody like really was rude. And I looked at my husband, I went, rude much? And he was like, right. And that was it. Like, we didn't, it wasn't like even a thing like that. Like, because I was going to Pensacon and because I've been doing good at walking on my own without needing a scooter for about 20 to 30 minutes, which is a huge improvement from 2 months ago. 2 months ago, couldn't do 5 minutes without my back being in pain. So much pain that I was in tears. But I've been doing really good at making about 30. I think the other night when I was at Walmart and I screwed up, I think that was about 45 minutes I made it. We were there for an hour. The last 15 minutes was the worst. It really didn't start tightening until about 30 minutes, and then it started hurting by 45. So I'm getting my time increased, which is great. I love seeing that improvement because that is something that I was hoping for, but wasn't sure if it would happen. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, we know we have to wait in line outside until they open up the doors. And we only have our tickets. We need to get our wristbands or whatever we're going to get, lanyards, wristbands, what have you. And so it's like, well, we're going to do what we have to do. So then when I said, I don't want to use my scooter because when I meet DDP, I want to be walking on my own. I don't want to have the scooter. And I went to, my husband said, I think you're going to put yourself in pain. You're going to regret it. You're not going to enjoy this moment of meeting somebody. And he was right. I mean, I have to know my own limits, and I have to respect the fact that my body is improving, but it's not there yet. And I know from history of going to Pensacon that you wait for like an hour at least in line, just standing there. You're not moving. You can't sit down. There's no alternatives unless you're in a scooter. So we did that. And we got an elevator pass. And they pulled us over to the side so we go in before everybody else got let in, so people weren't like running over us, which was awesome. And the people ahead of us, where we were talking to them, really sweet people. And I was showing them a picture from last summer and how much I've changed since then. And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's such a huge difference. And I still see that person. So, like I said, I'm being very consciously aware that I don't see the difference. And I need to pay attention to my weight, not what I see. But she was like, wow, it's a huge difference. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I just want to be able to say thank you. And then we went in, and I went straight up. Like, there was one guy in a scooter ahead of me, or a wheelchair ahead of me. He went up the elevator. They came back down. I hopped on. I went up. Second floor was where they had all the meet and greets. And we asked somebody, how do we find out who people are? And they're like, well, who are you looking for? I told him, he's like, oh, he's on the other wing. Now, when this thing first started a few years ago, when we went, there was like one section of meet and greets. Like, there was nothing on this other side. Everything was on the other side. There was nothing on this first side. So I was like, wow, this has really grown since when we first started going to it. It's been like tripled in attendance, which is, as far as celebrities, which is great. This year they had like William Shatner, Kevin Sorbo was there. I wanted to go meet him, but I was so upset about not meeting DDP, I just couldn't do it. I know it sounds stupid. It really does. But I was just disappointed, and I don't know. I was just out of it. And then I got my mystery boxes, which we had discussed getting a mystery box before we went, but we weren't sure if we were going to find one we liked. Then we found 2. It worked out great because I'm still playing with my Doctor Who sonic screwdriver from the 4th Doctor, and my Yoda Mr. Potato Head is my current favorite display toy. But yeah, so those worked out very, very well. I was very happy with those. And overall, I was depressed about it. So came home. I made the videos for you guys for over the weekend, doing the unboxing and stuff. And I tried to stay positive, thinking, you know what, this is all going to work out. But then my head started doing the, what if that guy who told me he was with them isn't really with them? Or like, what if he like puts the card somewhere and forgets he has it and never gives it to him? And then by the time he finds it, he's like, oh, I'm not giving it to him now. He like tosses it. Like that went through my head because there's still this negative self-talk that I have to talk myself out of. I spent 20 years telling myself bad things. I'm not going to in one day or 1 week or 2 months suddenly be telling myself all good things. Have I come a long way? Yes. Has it been hard as heck? Yes. It's been horrible. It's been painful at times. Having to say to myself, you know this isn't true. Why do you keep saying this to yourself? Stop. Just stop saying this stuff. And I just have these moments where no matter what I do, excuse me, no matter how hard I try, I cannot at all get it into my head that these things I'm telling myself are definitely false sometimes. Sometimes I'm just, if I start getting a little bit depressed or a little bit down and those little negative things come in my head, I have to weigh them out still. And that's something I want to stop doing, and I'm working on it. But I'm getting much better at saying, is this true? Is there proof? Do I believe this? And if I believe this, why? And I know you would think, is there proof? Do I believe this? I can make up proof for anything in my head. I am one of those women. I can prove anything in my head. So, if I believe this, my answer to why is because this proof is valid. And so I'm really getting good at having this accounting system in my head of any thought that goes through it. And if I can't immediately say, I have proof and it's valid, so yes, I believe this, then it's gone. Like I have to kick it out of my head. And there's times where it kind of might try to pop back in and I just keep kicking it out. And so there's times where I constantly have to just kind of regulate myself and see what's going through my head and think about things that I'm not even realizing I'm unconsciously thinking about. But I'm working on it and it's getting better. And I think the one improvement that I have seen because of this process of, do I believe this? Is this true? Do I have proof? That kind of thing, is that one of my biggest fears starting this program was that I would find an excuse to not do the program. The one great thing of this program is, even if I'm in bed and I don't feel good, I can still do a workout. So, there's no excuses not to do it, except for, I don't have time. I have all kinds of time. But we all know that there are times when we make an excuse saying we don't have time, and we totally do. So that has been something that I have been very happy with, this way of thinking, because anything I have to do in my life, pretty much, nothing is an emergency. Nothing is a dried down, drop down, this has to be done right now. So I cannot make excuses. And so when I come, do I have proof? Do I believe this? My answer has to be no. Because there's no validity to my thoughts of why I need to delay my workout. Now, for other people, you may have to honestly, do I believe this? Is this true? You may have to say, you know what? But this can wait 5 minutes. This can wait 15 minutes for me to do a workout. I can do a 5-minute quick workout. You might have to do more work on that. And honestly, there are times where I even have to do that. So even though I don't have things that are quote unquote emergencies that have to be done right now, I will convince myself that I have to make this phone call at 9 o'clock and I can't be working out in case I run into 9 o'clock and then I can't make this phone call right at 9 o'clock. Or I got to email this person. Let me do that before I do my workout. Like, I literally, if I have things, I'm thinking, I need to do this, and this, I grab my daily calendar, I write them down, done. That's what I do. So I'm going to end my extended talk today on that note, that you can do anything you want to do, and that the negative talk is what stops you. So maybe flip it around, turn it upside down on its head, and change your life. Have a great day. Bye.